UEFA Champions League semi-finals. The stage is set. Paris Saint-Germain versus Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid versus Arsenal. In this video, I am going to give you guys my honest predictions for these two games that are going to be played on Tuesday and Wednesday. Remember, on Tuesday, Paris Saint-Germain versus Bayern Munich. Then on Wednesday, Atletico Madrid versus Arsenal. And this is the first leg, so I am just going to predict the first leg in this video, and after the first leg I am going to record another video giving you guys my honest predictions for the second leg. And ahead of these two games, right, you cannot clearly tell who is going to be knocked out of the Champions League, who is going to advance to the finals, and who is going to win the Champions League. Yes, look at the teams that are left in the competition: Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid knocked Barcelona out of the competition. Bayern Munich knocked Real Madrid out of the competition. Paris Saint-Germain knocked Liverpool out of the competition, and Arsenal knocked Sporting CP out of the competition. And when you look at these semi-finals, right, 4 teams from 4 different leagues. La Liga is represented by Atletico Madrid. Premier League is represented by Arsenal. League 1 is represented by Paris Saint-Germain, and the Bundesliga is represented by Bayern Munich. Now, ahead of these two games, right, what are your expectations for these games? Because I know all Bayern Munich fans are going to be expecting Bayern Munich to win. Arsenal fans are going to be expecting Arsenal to win. Same for Paris Saint-Germain fans and same for Atletico Madrid fans. But ahead of these two games, right, I think the two games are going to be very, very entertaining, especially the game between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich. The game between Atletico Madrid and Arsenal is going to be more of a defensive game. Now, it is going to be Mikel Arteta versus Diego Simeone. Two coaches that are very, very good defensively. So that one is going to be a tough one. But let me start with the game that is going to be played on Tuesday, 28th of this month, which is the game between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich. Now, ahead of this game, right, when you look at the two teams, Bayern Munich is already the German champion. Yes, they won the Bundesliga already. They have a team made up of world-class players, right from the goalkeeper to the defense to the midfield and to the attack. And when you look at Bayern Munich attack line, Luis Diaz, who is in form this season, the guy is on fire. There is Harry Kane, who has scored more than 50 goals already this season. There is Michael Olise, who is actually one of the best players in the world right now, right? With these 3 guys, I am 100% confident that this game might go in favor of Bayern Munich, even though the game is away from home. But my biggest predictions for this game, right, this particular game, my biggest prediction for this game is both teams are going to score. This is the Champions League, and when you look at how the Champions League is always being played, right, you clearly see that goals are always scored. Yes, goals are always scored. But in this game between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich, the two teams are very, very good. When you look at Bayern Munich, you look at Paris Saint-Germain, you can even compare the Paris Saint-Germain of these days to the Paris Saint-Germain of last season, because ever since Paris Saint-Germain got through the knockout stage, they knocked Liverpool out of the competition after defeating Liverpool both home and away. They defeated Chelsea Football Club both home and away. That is to tell you Paris Saint-Germain is in good shape, and all they are looking for now is to get a win in this game. Now they are going to be playing at home with a home advantage, and they'll be looking for possible ways to make good use of this home advantage. But when I look at the game Bayern Munich played against Real Madrid in Santiago Bernabeu, the first leg, and knocked Real and defeated Real Madrid 2-1. If Paris Saint-Germain is not careful in this game, because this Bayern Munich team is a team that is very, very scary. If Paris Saint-Germain is not careful in this game, Bayern Munich will score them. Whenever Bayern Munich is playing and there is Harry Kane, Luis Diaz and Michael Olise up front, I am 100% confident that anything can happen. And one of the reasons why I like this Bayern Munich team is this, right? They have attackers that the moment Bayern Munich is attacking, they're acting like attackers. The moment they lose the ball, they start acting like defenders. That is one thing I like about this Bayern Munich team. They defend together and they attack together, right? The two teams are using almost the same formation. A formation like either 4-3-3, 4-2-1-3, 4-2-1-2-1. It is almost the same formation for both Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain. Bet I see both teams scoring in this game, and I see Bayern Munich winning the first leg of this game. I have great respect for Paris Saint-Germain. Ousmane Dembele is in good shape. Kvaratskhelia is also in good shape, but when you compare Paris Saint-Germain to Bayern Munich, I think Bayern Munich is looking better, but it is not obviously the best team that wins. But ahead of this game, I'm going to give Bayern Munich to win. My first predictions, both teams to score. And if I have to go deeper, I'm going to give Bayern Munich a straight win in this game against Paris Saint-Germain. Now, the game of Wednesday, Atletico Madrid versus Arsenal Football Club. This is going to be a haram football. This is going to be war. The two teams are all defensive team, bro. Is this game even going to be entertaining? Because I don't just get it. Paris Saint-Germain Bayern Munich game is going to be very, very entertaining. But this game between Atletico Madrid and Arsenal, I don't know if the game is going to be entertaining, because when you look at the two teams, right? The two teams don't create chances like other teams. Arsenal suffered before knocking Sporting CP out of the Champions League. Just one goal knocked Sporting CP out of the Champions League. Atletico Madrid also suffered before knocking Barcelona out of the Champions League, and it was because of one goal, right? You look at this game, you are going to be like, can Arsenal win the game? Atletico Madrid is playing at home with a home advantage in that their stadium that is very, very difficult to play in. And Arsenal just suffered a defeat to Manchester City. They suffered a defeat to Manchester City. So if Arsenal is not careful in this game, they might bottle it. They might bottle the Champions League in this game. I respect Atletico Madrid, but one good thing about this Atletico Madrid is that on a perfect day, they can score you 5 goals in 45 minutes. There is Julian Alvarez, there is Solot, there is Ademola Lookman, there is Antoine Griezmann, right? Atletico Madrid suffered a defeat against Real Sociedad and lose the Copa del Rey. They lost the Copa del Rey to Real Sociedad. So I think Atletico Madrid will be looking for a way to bounce back in this game. But I don't trust this Atletico Madrid, and I don't trust Arsenal. Now, who am I going to give the win to in this game? I don't just know. I'm confused. Who am I going to give a win to in this game? Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave this one for you guys. I'm going to leave this particular game, Atletico Madrid versus Arsenal. Who do you think is going to win the first leg? This game. Like I said, I'm predicting just the first leg. After the first leg, I'll predict the second leg. Who do you think is winning this game between Atletico Madrid and Arsenal? When you look at the two teams, they're all defensive teams. Diego Simeone, a defensive manager. Michael Arteta, a defensive manager. And the two teams don't even create enough chances in games. So I think the game is going to be a tough one in Spain. But anyone makes a mistake in this game is going. Yes. If Arsenal win this game, they'll knock Atletico Madrid out in the second leg. And if Atletico Madrid win this game, they'll knock Arsenal out in the second leg. That is one thing I know about the UEFA Champions League semi-finals. When they get to the semi-finals, you make a mistake, even in the first leg, you are leaving the competition. Look at players like Ademola Lookman. Look at Julian Alvarez. Those are two attackers that if you are not careful, they're going to cause you harm. If Arsenal is not careful, these Atletico Madrid attackers are going to cause them harm. And when you look at Arsenal, I think Declan Rice is going to look for a way to get some breakthrough passes. Subemendi is going to try and do same. Eberechi Eze, Mateo Odegaard. But with the nonsense Arsenal have been playing recently, if they are not careful, they will not win this game. So I wish Arsenal all the best. I wish Atletico Madrid all the best. I wish Bayern Munich all the best. And I wish Paris Saint-Germain all the best. Guys, I'm going to end the video here. But before I end the video, let me know your predictions for these two games. Paris Saint-Germain versus Bayern Munich. Who do you think is winning? Atletico Madrid versus Arsenal. Who do you think is winning? Because if I'm to predict, like I said earlier, I am going to give both teams to score between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich. And if I am to go deeper in that game, I'm going to give Bayern Munich to defeat Paris Saint-Germain. But one thing I will tell you guys now is that if you win the first leg, you are winning the second leg. If you win the first leg, you are definitely going to knock your opponent out of the Champions League. If Bayern Munich win, they'll knock Paris Saint-Germain out in the second leg. If Paris Saint-Germain win, they'll knock Bayern Munich out in the second leg. If Arsenal win, they'll knock Atletico Madrid out in the second leg. And if Atletico Madrid win, they'll knock Arsenal out in the second leg. Let me know your predictions down in the comment section. If this is the first time you have come across the channel, smash a thumb up to the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video to 1 or 2 persons, and let me know your predictions in the comment section. See you until my next video.